Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of this 2022 Ford Explorer King Ranch. The King Ranch version of the Explorer, or any other Ford product that has this trim level, is going to be a southern or western themed looking vehicle, and it's going to give you some very unique looks, as we'll talk about mostly on the inside. On the outside though, you do get a very nicely accented grille, which is going to be finished off in like a bronze color. You also have these very unique wheels on this particular Explorer. You have King Ranch badging, as well as this one does come equipped with the 3-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost V6, making 400 horsepower. But with that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see on the key, it's going to be your traditional Ford key fob, and it does feel pretty nice on your hands. It also does come with all usual buttons right here, and it includes your lock, unlock, remote start, your trunk release, and your panic button. To remote start this vehicle is make sure the vehicle is locked, and double click the remote start button twice, and the engine will start right up. And when you're finished, just double click the remote start button again, and the vehicle will shut itself off. Starting off here in the front of the vehicle, as you can see, you do have a pretty nice and uniquely accented grille. Like I mentioned, this one being the King Ranch. It's not going to be finished off in your typical aluminum or silver finish. It's going to be finished on more of this bronze color, which looks very nice. You have your blue Ford oval right there front and center by a front-facing camera. And as you can see, it does give it a premium luxurious look. You also do have, of course, your front parking sensors on this one as well. You do have your standard LED daytime running lights with your xenon projector headlamps, as well as fog lamps down below. Checking out your wheels and tires on this one, we were taking a look at a set of Michelin Primacy all-season tires, and these are on 20-inch wheels. These measure 255 R20s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and come to the door handle, there's a touch sensor inside. Just put your hand inside. The vehicle will unlock and the mirrors will fold out, allowing you to jump on inside of the vehicle. And then when you're finished, tap this button here. One beep will indicate locking, and the mirrors will fold back in. The exterior color of this one is finished off in star white metallic tricoat, with the Mesa Brown leather interior specific to the King Ranch trim. Coming over to the door panel, you're going to have some soft touch material on top, as well as down here at the bottom. You have an aluminum door handle. You have your unlock and lock switches here, followed by a 3-person memory seating, your power mirror controls, power windows, and then coming down to the bottom here, we're going to have your map pocket, followed by a small cup holder. To start the vehicle, just make sure you have the key fob in your pocket or within your person. Put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Explorer King Ranch does come with a full leather wrapped racking pan power steering wheel with controls on the left as well as on the right sides. You also have your King Ranch logo right down here to signify which trim level you have. To the left, you're going to have your cruise control settings, your audio controls down at the bottom. To the right, you're going to have your control for the instrument cluster. Down here, you're going to have your hands-free telephone, voice activation, as well as your seat track right here. Taking a look, we are looking at a fully digital instrument cluster, and it's going to include your speedometer on your left, your information here on the right, as well as your fuel range. Down below at the bottom, you're going to have your compass, your odometer reading, gear selector, exterior temperature, your miles to empty, as well as other bits and pieces of information. As you can see here, we're taking a look at your average fuel economy information, as you can see there. You have your trip 1 information, followed by your tire pressure monitoring system. You have your calm screen, and then if you go back to your main menu, you have select screens, audio, navigation, phone, settings, as well as display setup. Coming over here to the right, we're taking a look at Ford's 10.1-inch LCD infotainment system here, and as you can see, it does look really nice. With that being said, we're taking a look at your audio system, and as you can see here, it is running on the Sync 3 interface. it's going to show here what your source right up here, your stations, as well as your presets down at the bottom. You have your sources here that you can change between AM, FM, and Sirius XM radio, and your direct tune underneath that. You're going to have your submenus down here at the bottom. So starting off here at your home page, you're going to have your audio system, your device for your Bluetooth, and then navigation. Audio is where we just started off with. Phone is going to allow you to add a phone to the vehicle. Here's your navigation. As you can see, this is going to be an older system, but overall it does still look pretty nice. You can search for destinations and all that up here. You have your menu as well, which is nice. Plus and minus buttons here for your zoom in, as well as your compass. And overall, it does look pretty well detailed. Apps is going to be where you can add a device, find mobile apps, as well as your SiriusXM travel link. And then coming to settings, this is where you'll be able to enable, disable, and change through a couple different things to make it your own. And you have 3 distinctive categories. You have assistance, vehicle, and connectivity. Assistance is going to be specifically for your driver assistance, which is going to show all your safety features. 911 assistance is going to be just in case if you're in need of law enforcement presence or EMS emergency services. That is what that is for, of course, just in case you get into a roadside collision. Starting off with your driver assistance, of course, it's going to show you your safety features that come with the vehicle, which includes your adaptive cruise control, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, speed sign recognition, rear view camera, blind spot information system, trailer blind spot, trailer sway control, rear cross traffic alert, reverse brake assist, as well as your driver alert. And like I said, some of these you can enable or disable. You have your vehicle settings here, which is going to be specific to the vehicle system as far as what comes with it as far as standard equipment. You're going to have sound, clock, radio, vehicle, general, display, valet mode, ambient lighting, navigation. Let's say we want to go to our vehicle settings here. It's going to show us our 30-minute max idle, rear occupant alert, your easy entry and exit, your my key, your windows and wiper settings, power liftgate settings, lighting, locks, mirrors, as well as your door keypad code. You do have your general settings here next to that. That's going to show you your language, temperature, units of measurement, as well as your software information. You have your ambient lighting. You can choose from any of these distinctive colors, and that way it will bring some lighting to the vehicle, especially at nighttime. You do have your sound settings here, which is going to allow you to adjust your treble, mid-range, and bass, your balance and fade, your speed compensated volume right here, followed by your sound mode. And then you have your valet mode here, which of course is going to require a PIN to lock certain functions of the vehicle up, so that way a valet cannot access it, and of course you have to re-enter that PIN in order to disable that valet mode function. And connectivity is going to do with stuff like your phone, Bluetooth, 4Pass Connect, as well as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and so that's pretty nice to see. But with that being said, guys, that is pretty much going to do it here for the infotainment system tour in the 2022 Ford Explorer King Ranch. Before we move on, this vehicle does come standard with Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission. And when you put it into reverse, you do get a nice backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel. And although the camera is a bit small, it doesn't take up a ton of space, it does do a pretty good job of keeping you in check. You also have a 360 camera here as standard. You also do have that widescreen view, so as you can see, you have a wider coverage of the backup camera. And then you have a split screen view right there as well. And then you have a top-down view also. Coming down below that, you have your piano black finish here, which is really, really nice. It does add a bit of a luxury look to it. You have your volume knob and tuning knob, seat track, parking sensors, your camera, as well as your hazard button right there. Below that, you do have your climate controls here. As you can see, your heated and cooled seats for the front and front passenger. Climate control settings will be right here in the middle. You can adjust your temperatures here, as well as here. Fan positioning, rear air controls, recycling, auto AC, max AC, rear AC, and all that stuff, which is nice. And then your fan speed is going to be right here in the middle. Coming down below that, you do have a little storage area here where you can close something up, or in this case, you can put your phone right here. You can charge via a USB-C or USB port. You have an outlet right next to that. Close it up to give it a cleaner look. You have 2 cup holders here, 10-speed automatic transmission here, electronic parking brake, your brake hold, drive mode selector, and then you have your shortcut buttons, which includes your auto stop start and your hill descent control. Coming over to our drive mode selector, it's going to allow us to pick from a couple different drive modes, which includes your normal mode, slippery, trail, as well as deep snow and sand. You also have eco, sport, and tow haul. Come over here to your glove compartment. You have a good amount of storage space, and you have a small cubby hole on top as well. Now, this being the King Ranch, you are going to be getting, like I said, a Western or Southern theme inside of the vehicle, and it does look really nice, I have to say. Ford has been doing this now for about 25 years, so as you can see, they know a thing or two about making some really cool themed vehicles, like, for example, a Platinum, Limited, and this one here being the King Ranch. You have the King Ranch emblem right here, which is very nice. I love the stitching alongside here. I love the perforations coming down the middle. This is a Mesa Brown that I was talking to you guys about as well. It has been a staple with Ford, like I said, for about 25 years now, and as you can see, it looks really, really awesome. And as you can tell, the seats themselves are pretty comfortable to be in. You have some nice side bolsters, and overall, it's a well-presented seat for what the trim level is. Come over here to your glove box. You have a good amount of storage space inside. You have some full wood trim on top of here. You have some of that smooth material on top of here as well. You do have your mirror up here. You do have controls here for your overhead lights as well as for your sunroof. You do have your sunglass holder right here. You have your three garage home link with your visor, as well as a mirror and LED lighting. You also do have your gauge dimmer, your headlight controls here. Open up the tailgate, and then your gauge dimmer switches here. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2022 Ford Explorer King Ranch. That beeping sound lets you know that the key has loss detection of the vehicle. Coming into the second row of the Ford Explorer King Ranch, materials do fall through in the second row, and they do look really nice in here. You do have your seat pockets right here, two of them, one on both sides. You have your controls here for your climate controls, fan speed, positioning, heated rear seats, two USB ports here. You have a 150 watt plug-in right there. And of course, you do have a captain's chair setup, which makes it easier to jump into the third row. If you want to, you can jump in from here, or you can just use this lever. The seat will come over and it will fold at an angle, allowing you easy access to the third row as well. And as you can see, the third row is currently down at the moment. And one last thing, the King Ranch does give you your privacy covers right here standard. You do have your easy fuel capless fuel filler, making it easier to fill up at the gas station, as well as your instructions of how to use it. Coming into the cargo area of the Ford Explorer King Ranch, it's a very nice place to spend time if you're someone who's going to be traveling a lot this summer, or if you're going to be going to the grocery store a lot. This is going to be perfect for whatever it is you're going to be using it for, and it's quite nice. The way that you have it set up right now, it is looking at around 48 cubic feet of space, which is pretty good. 47.8 is what Ford says that this has, the way that it's set up here. Now, if you were to have lifted the third row up and just have it focus over here where the all-weather floor liner is, or excuse me, the all-weather trunk liner is, you're looking at just over 18 cubic feet of space. You now have 47.9 cubic feet of space behind the second row. And when you fold down that second row, you have upwards of around 88 cubic feet of space behind the first row, which is about the same as, let's say, a Honda Pilot, which competes with this vehicle in this segment, as well as some other mainstream three-row SUVs as well. You have your controls here to lift the seats, or pull down the seats rather, right here. You do have an outlet here. You do have LED lighting right here. And underneath here, we have even more storage space, as you can see there. And when you're finished, just tap this button here, and it will close down automatically. As you can see, now that we are in the back of the vehicle still, let's go ahead and talk about it. You do have Explorer spelled out here. It's a really, really nice area. You have your King Ranch badge right here, as well as your four-wheel drive badge right here. You do also have your rear parking sensors here and a tow hitch. You do have piano black mirror covers right here with your LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Ford Explorer King Ranch, we're taking a look at Ford's 3-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost V6. It produces 400 horsepower and around 415 pound-feet of torque. Overall, a very good power plant for this 3-row SUV. Of course, this one here does have a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this one is 4-wheel drive. All right, guys, so back in the Ford Explorer King Ranch, this is, I think, the last one I have to do, because when I say the last one, I filmed every single trim level of the Explorer from this generation. Of course, this generation goes from 2020 to 2024, and as you can tell, for 2025, it got a full-on redesign, of which I've done a few videos on that one already, but not all the trims. This one now, I can say comfortably that I've done all the trims for, and whichever trim you go for, whether it's a Timberline, King Ranch, Platinum, Limited XLT, there is a trim level of the Explorer for every single person's needs. There's a reason why the Explorer has been a bestseller for over 3 decades. There's a reason why this vehicle continues to excel in technology, improvements, and overall a good vehicle at the end of the day. Plus, of course, this one here, having that 3-liter twin turbocharged V6, makes it all worthwhile. But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this walk around and tour of the 2022 Ford Explorer King Ranch, finished off here in star white metallic tint coat with the Mesa Brown leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the